whatever the heck is going on here. Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
For me, as everything gets itchy, like my throat itches, my nose, my eyes. That's how
Yeah,
I know
I
I'm
get-
allergic.
I get like, I just get a lot of like phlegm, which like sticks
Welcome
everywhere.
to our stream,
Yeah.
where the first thing that you hear us talking about is phlegm.
Phlegm, phlegm, and allergic reactions
We're commiserating over allergies
are
at
our
the moment.
mutual distaste for
It's
allergies.
a rough day around here.
Weirdly enough, I'm not having too much of an
That's
issue
good.
today, but I have been a lot for the last week.
Jordan's phlegm did not make me itchy.
Good. I hope not.
It's
Certainly.
The mesquite trees have made me itchy. Blasphemers.
Blasphemers. That's pretty good. I have to admit, that's pretty classy.
And Mike, it is not Thursday.
What do you mean it's not Thursday?
Jordan and I spend the 5-ish minutes or so before stream starts trying to come up with a good stream title.
Yeah, we were talking about how
Today it was, why does it feel like a Thursday? I'm like, well, that's our title.
Yep.
Jordan thinks it's Thursday. Done.
the streams are largely starting to become my errant thoughts before stream that I communicate to Jen
Yeah.
when she's probably going, yeah, that's cool, Jordan. You can stop talking now.
That's how we got yesterday's. Jordan loves brush goop.
Yeah.
But hello, everyone. Paint Liquor, Oak Ren, Vector, Ghost Hunter, Mike, Songer, Riz, Pop Chicken,
Hi, everyone.
Jade, hello. Really meant to be productive and paint earlier, but instead I got caught in Battletech lore and kit bashed a mech into a new variant instead. Oops. Accidentally productive.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Anti-itch phlegmy painter. Is there's like a little red dot at the top on the cap? Is that
I need to fix that.
intentional or?
That most certainly not. I mean, I could
I'm like, is it the little bit of paint?
No, that was just me
up there.
putting it there on accident. Yeah. No, unintentional. Unintentional.
Hello, Panic Bomb.
I hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday. I'm committed to this bit, so I have elected in my mind that it is in fact Thursday.
In Battletech, I just discovered the Empty Wallets channel today. Seriously, those guys are so crazy.
Well,
Do you recognize a few of them?
yeah, all of them.
All of them.
We've slowly incorporated them
They all
over the
work
course
here.
of the last year, but they do all work here now.
So their wallets are not empty because we pay them a salary.
Well, they might still be empty.
Well, they might.
They could. We can't be the judge.
I mean, that's not our business.
We're not mom and
We're
dad,
doing
even
our
though
part.
we're mom and dad.
Hi,
Mom and
Jason.
Dad.
How goes?
You kind of want Jordan to paint on the tip of the what?
He
Oh,
wants
I didn't do
paint-
that on
paint
the one we sent
on
to
the tip
Ginkgo,
of
and
the
I said
cap.
I was going to do a little bit
Oh.
of paint on
Well,
it.
yeah, because I
Paint
saw
swap.
a little bit of paint on Jordan's, and I was like, is that on purpose? And no, but
So that
Okay.
that one, just a mistake.
Grizz says we hired the Legion of Doom. That's a good name for all these people around here. Ghost Hunter, hello. How we doing?
oh, video game. Well, is that better that you realize then it's Wednesday, that you're actually a day ahead? Or does that discourage you because, like, oh my gosh, the week's half over?
Nope. It's
Profab,
Thursday.
what's going on? Welcome. I don't like that this chat doesn't tell us when people are new.
Yeah.
The Twitch one does.
Yeah, that's why I keep both of them.
Yeah.
open.
So Profab, welcome.
I try to glance over at the other one when
I never do.
Well, when I
I just
hear,
happen to see one of them has a new
Yeah.
talker box on
when
it. I'm
I
like,
hear
we missed that.
sub alert or whatever, I have to look over here because it doesn't show us like new follows or subs or like that either.
Werewolf. What's going on?
Hey, Looker says I'm new.
Paint Liquor, you're like the first person to talk in stream every day. Dude, you're as far from being new as
You ain't new.
can possibly be.
You're old hat. Speaking of old hat.
I'm Bo.
What's going on, Mo? I knew. I'm not Mike.
I knew I'm not Mike.
Fat Boy said, just finished watching how to paint skin tone tutorial. Loved it as a relative newbie.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Jade, glad the week is half over, but annoyed that you have more work this week than you alone can. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah. Because then you do feel like, oh, it's already half over and I'm not done yet. You wish you could eat your way out of a pool filled with nectarines.
I
Is
haven't had
that
a
a
nectarine
metaphor
in
for something, or is it an actual
a
pool filled
gajillion
with
years.
nectarines?
That gave me a very visual.
Well, if you want to eat your way out of it, I assume that you're underneath all the nectarines, like submerged in nectarines right now.
You either love nectarines.
Or you hate.
Well, no.
Or you
I
have
think
a
you just have to
tree.
love nectarines. I don't think that's a statement that could be.
You have a tree that producing lots of nectarines. We don't understand it enough.
So
to
Mike
know if
says
it
at some
sounds
point this
great.
needs to stop. In
What?
his name.
What does?
Oh,
Oh, gosh darn it, Mike.
Mike's new name. At some point this needs to stop.
Well, you're the one who's largely in control of that, Mike. So I blame you.
Who does what?
You do. What?
Nothing happened. Something happened. Something most definitely did happen.
Do they speak English and what?
yep. Fire station is like 100 yards away. Which we were very grateful for
Yeah.
the day there was a fire at our building.
True.
Yeah. Fire station.
Yep.
They put the fire out that people who lit our building on fire started very quickly. So we're very thankful there's a fire department, like Jen said.
It is amazing how close they are to our office.
But yeah, we don't even notice it really anymore because it's just all day.
Oh, the fire engines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even recognize it anymore.
Pay attention.
Every now and then I do, because you can tell, like, oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like all the trucks.
When they're not just sirens but the horn too, then
Yeah, when it's like really loud, you're like, whoa, something's
yeah, they're
going
right
on.
next door to Jordan's apartment.
I also hear them. Actually, I'm weirdly insulated.
Well, yeah, you're kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah, my apartment building within the complex is in the like smack dab in the middle of the complex. And I'm on the third floor. So it's like I am which I think is actually really nice for me because it means that my building doesn't get direct sunlight
Yeah,
for a ton of the day. Like my apartment's not
that's
ridiculously
good.
hot.
Yeah, because being on the third floor is the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
No-
usually
Yeah,
warm.
normally I would think it would be
Yeah.
bad. I know I was worried about it when we were first talking about
Yeah,
it, but it's been totally
good.
fine.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, second floor is like where you'd rather. So
Yeah.
you're not on ground level.
Yep.
But
I had a
yeah,
upper
a little more
floor
insulated.
apartment when I lived out east.
Mm-hmm.
And in winter, it was horrible.
Oh, really?
Oh my
Just
God.
cold.
No,
stairs.
hot. Everybody's heater.
Oh.
It would get so hot because everybody's heat would rise through the whole building to my
Something that
floor.
We don't think about too much.
You'd be walking around the apartment nearly naked because it's so hot. And then you forget and you go outside and it's like freaking, in the negatives.
But that's 2 apartments below you where someone can be dumb and not know how to safely use a stove or oven.
Also
Is
true.
that anything you ever consider? I never, in all the apartments I lived in, never once considered.
But nobody's toilet's going to
That.
leak on you.
Never once
True.
considered any of those things.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have anybody
Didn't
toilet
even
leak
think
on me.
about it.
I always
Glad
wanted to
I
be
don't
on
live
the
in an
upper
apartment because
floors.
that would give me something new to worry about.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my apartment location right now.
Yeah,
It's
it's good.
pretty great.
It's got all covered parking, which is nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is huge.
Yeah.
Like being able to come out in the middle of the day and have my car not be on fire.
Yeah.
As silly as your parking lot is, it's actually nice that it's
Yeah.
completely covered.
Yeah, that's really. Oh, I agree. People are usually dumb. They were less
People
dumb when I
are
lived in
usually
apartments,
dumb.
I think, because that was like 20 years ago. So more than that. I know because I am one.
What, a dumb person?
A person. Just, I don't trust people.
Yeah.
They're dumb.
I'm one.
I'm one.
I know I'm not trustworthy. Wait.
Jason, do we need to have a conversation?
Relax Studio, hello.
We rely on you for a whole lot of things around here.
Wait.
Relax said, "What's up, crew? Loving both models. The gradient on the sunglasses is pretty."
Airbrush makes life very easy sometimes.
Yes, it does.
No, people were definitely less dumb back then. Well, and there were also fewer people. But yeah.
I've always argued that it may not be that the quantity per capita of stupid people has ever changed. I think that's probably a fairly normal thing. It's just that when there's more people, it's more visible.
Yeah, and there's just so much more visible is a good way to say it. Like you're
Visible
exposed
stupid.
to a lot more people now as well. And people feel like they have a lot more information at hand, which they do, but they don't know how to.
I love the meme that
process
says,
it.
"Hey, remember back when they said it was the lack of
Yeah.
information that was keeping people stupid?"
Definitely
It's
not
like,
that.
definitely wasn't that.
Definitely not that.
Turns out the opposite can also be very true.
So that science project's over. I don't know. I don't think people are actually that dumb. I think that people are just unfortunately so self-involved
Yeah.
that they don't pay attention to the world around them very much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't even know that I go so far as calling it common sense. I just think that, like people driving on their cell phones and stuff is all just a complex or a symptom of people not realizing that the rest of the world is just as important as them.
Exactly. Social media is their bullhorn, exactly, and that's why we have the bold sense of humor that Jordan is painting right now.
That is the reason for its existence.
True.
Critical thinking is an acquired skill. That's.
I don't think they teach it anymore. I had a class in junior high that was actually called Critical Reading and Thinking.
Yeah.
It was one of the most important classes I ever took.
It was a big part of English.
Yeah.
When I taught English, was critical thinking and interpretation and
Oh, yeah.
How to
We
not
read a
get
story.
killed.
now we need to find an ethical way to write into law, a way to prevent willingly spreading misinformation, but that's a very slippery slope. Yeah, it's crazy. We put too many warning labels on things. Let's go back to natural selection.
Well, we don't want to get into a debate
No.
here, but in order for things to go back to where misinformation is not as huge as it is, you have to get back to news that is actually news and not editorials.
Yeah.
We do not have actual news sources anymore. Your local news is the closest thing you can get because they'll just report about accidents and things that have happened, but even they sometimes get a little editorial.
Yeah.
But all the major news outlets on a national level are all editorial only. It's all just belief. It's not facts anymore, What happened to Walter Cronkite? Was it Cronkite? Those guys? They reported the news, and at the end, it's like, do the research, think for yourself. The newspapers were not allowed to use a bunch of adjectives,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's all adjectives. Think about that. When I was in journalism class, the reporters in journalism would get bad grades and degrade or downgraded in their grade for every issue based on the amount of adjectives and influence that they were putting into their stories. Now it's like I feel it's 180 degrees different.
See, in Papa Chicken, that's the problem, is that news, that there shouldn't be ratings on news. Like news,
They monetized it.
Papa Chicken said news that isn't sensational doesn't get ratings, so news has devolved into being purely sensational, but it shouldn't matter. We shouldn't care about ratings for
Yeah.
what it's about.
It used to be, and I know this is the okay boomer, right? But it used to be that in order to have a broadcast channel, you had to provide actual news content. This was federally regulated. That's why there was news in the morning,
Yeah.
in the afternoon, at prime time, and late night.
Yeah.
You had to have those slots filled with news, or you couldn't get a broadcast channel. You were not allowed to broadcast if you did not provide the news until they came out with the UHF channels, like Channel 39 and stuff like that. But they weren't in the easy to receive
Right.
channels. Digital played a big part in changing all that.
Mike said that was back when news was viewed as a public service for the rights to airwaves granted by the government. Cable killed that and replaced that view with ad revenue.
Yeah.
And then he said, beat Jason to it. Woo me, being an old, youngish man.
Yep. Old man yells at clouds. The answers are really easy to find. It's just that through, both technological advances and things that don't allow for the same amounts of regulation. And I'm not saying that regulation is great, but it's not like these things are hidden from us to figure out what's wrong. It's like hire news people that are more interested in giving you facts, right? Than their side of the story.
Or whatever side pays them the best.
Yeah, I mean, those shows used to be rare, right? I don't know what would they be? Point, counterpoint. The debate news shows is what they were. They
Yeah.
were kind of like two
Meet the
editorialists
press.
would sit there and fire back and forth. I thought those were cool. But they made it a point to distance themselves from the views of the people on the show.
To shoe or not to shoe? What color or to shoe?
Mike, are you okay? It's a lot.
This is a
Trying
lot.
to
Wall
follow
of
your
text, Mike.
story.
My wall of text doesn't translate well.
He's telling a story about Shelbyville because he needed a new shoes. Nichols had pictures of bumblebees on him.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea. They didn't have white onions because of the war.
You having a stroke? Mike,
So,
you okay?
Oh, he's old man yelling at Sky. Hot pink shoes.
What's going on, T. Schmidt?
Guess who said that?
I don't even need to look up paint liquor.
How's it already 20 minutes past? Kids.
Is it really? Oh my gosh. What the heck? Somebody is screwing with time.
Oh, is that the actual Abe Simpson quote?
Who's Abe Simpson?
The granddad.
From The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Oh.
The original old man yells at clouds.
Oh.
I think his name was Abe, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Abe Simpson telling stories that don't go anywhere to deal with young people. Ah, you just start rambling and then they just walk away. Is that the key? I like this. I like this strategy.
Bad paint done worse, that's pretty good. But that's a bold sense of humor right there.
Mm-hmm.
Has nothing to do with potatoes. Nothing at all. No potatoes anywhere on this.
Got him some Groucho Marx sunglasses.
Some stylish ones.
Uh-oh, panda. What's black and white and red all over? A panda with a sunburn.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Got some aloe vera. If not, milk. Not to drink. Dab on your sunburn. Amazing.
It does work wonders. Temporarily. Until your body remembers that it's burning alive in the Arizona heat.
I wish I could go back to the days of my eyes glossing over when talking about news and politics. I miss that innocence.
Innocence, yeah.
Just keep focusing on a new detail and pivot to that, and then circle back and focus on another detail. I'm having a hard time following you today, Mike, but I don't care. Some good stuff.
What? Come along as Mike takes us on a trip.
We're going on an adventure.
How do you catch a rabbit? Stand behind a tree and make noises like a carrot. You're welcome. There you
Seems believable.
go. Thank you.
You want to demonstrate your abilities at mimicking a carrot, Jason?
I'm a banana.
Nope. Also not a raisin. This is a bottle of paint wearing a clever disguise.
That was
Nothing
not
to
what
do
I
with
was expecting
food.
you to say.
No?
No.
Didn't know what you were asking for, so that's the best I could come up with.
Well,
I made Gabe and Christopher watch the Rejected cartoons this morning, chat. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you too should YouTubeify the Rejected cartoons.
Oh, are those the ones that you showed me a while ago?
Yes.
It's so good. So good.
The end of your sunscreen failed you. Oh no. It's important, a good time to stop and remind everyone that sunscreen does expire and you should probably get a new bottle at the beginning of the season.
Sunscreen expires?
Yeah, it loses effectiveness. The SPF doesn't work.
Or does the sun
That could be too.
get to where it has built up an immunity to sunscreen?
Yeah,
That's not how that works.
could be how it works.
If you use the same pesticide around your house, the pests will become acclimated to it and it will no longer work.
Correct. But in the context of your relationship that you were building
If you
between
use
the sun
something
and
too
us.
much, it will no longer work. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. What you said was the sun will become immune to sunblock.
Yes.
Not we will become not able to use sunscreen over time as our bodies
sun
get used to it.
becomes immune.
The
Papa
sun does
Chicken,
not care
were you
about our sunscreen.
Were you panicked? Did you panic at the disco?
Did
Papa
you
Chicken
panic
said
at
I
the
had
disco?
Papa Chicken said I had a nightmare last night. The disco was coming back. At first I was afraid. I was petrified.
Oh my
Did you
god.
keep thinking that you could never live without us by your side?
Oh my god.
Is this where we're
What in
going?
the world is going on today?
Is this what we're doing, chat? Is this what we're doing?
Jen is telling people to wear milk. Jason has Rejected cartoons, and we're supposed to act like carrots? What a weird stream day.
I'm gonna be
I mean,
honest. This is just
Jordan
another
thinks
Thursday.
It's Thursday, so
Like, you have been here
it all
before,
checks
right?
out.
Today is Thursday, folks. Come on.
You
now.
have been here before, right? This is not your standard corporation stream.
You should have, instead of saying Jordan thinks it's a Thursday, you should have just named it What a Weird Thursday.
What a weird Thursday. Max Salty said I have a foolproof
Foolproof method?
foolproof
Method?
method for never getting a sunburn. Don't go outside. I live
Dun
by
dun
this.
dun.
Mostly because I might as well have been born in
Check
ginger.
out the big brain on Brad.
A brand new bottle of SPF 50 applied multiple times. Gonna get a different brand before we go back. Yeah. Take that bottle straight back and point to your sunburn and say, clearly this is defective.
Grizz Christofferson, I'll put it on my calendar. Did I get a heat stroke at work today?
Mike said to clarify something Jordan said yesterday, I do not have one. Wait, I do not have one of every CIS mini for Legion painted. I have 245 painted Legion minis.
I said he's clarifying.
Because Jordan said that Mike actually has a lot of painted stuff.
He does have a lot of
Yeah.
painted stuff. I was incorrect as to what specific things that he had painted. He's clarifying for us. But he has 245 painted Legion minis,
I think he's
which is a
calling you- I think
lot.
he's calling you a liar.
I do like the idea that the sun is evolving in anger.
Actually, he and I had a conversation about that last night. I am not, in fact, a liar. Well, about some things.
Do you remember who you're talking to?
But not
Yeah.
about that.
You do remember who you're talking to.
You're the king of liars?
I can sniff out
The Lord of Lies himself?
the Lord of Lies.
The Lord of Lies painting the Lord of Flies?
What this guy is? What's
Who
his
thinks
name?
He's the
babe?
Lord of No Eyes?
His name is Eustace P. Vanderbanger III.
Eustace P. Vanderbanger III.
Paint Liquor's got it right. What is truth, anyways?
Exactly.
Truth is an opinion. Supported by facts.
Truth is not opinion supported by facts. Well,
Fjord Horde.
Well,
if you
sort
want to get
of.
existential about it, you could say that humans really don't know anything, right? Because it's all just our perception. It's not like anybody's come down and given us the story of the universe in print. First edition.
Fjord Horde said, I'm flying tomorrow and was wondering if there's any concerns about checking a bunch of your paints.
Not at all.
We check them all the time.
I mean, I
Tighten
would
up
always.
the caps real good. Put them in
Yeah.
a bag. Put them in like in a plastic bag or something.
So
That'd be fine.
I flew recently from here to
There?
The UK.
the UK and back, and I checked a bunch of paint in my luggage. What I did was like Jen just mentioned, I made sure that all the lids were screwed on tight, and then I packed them in a gallon bag, folded it over, and put it in another gallon bag and stuck it in my luggage. It is totally fine.
Okay.
Nothing spilled.
Now, when
No
you
paint.
get to where you're going, just think about like when you carry a plastic water bottle that you buy. You know,
Mhm.
not like your Stanley cup or anything, but
Yeah.
like a plastic bottle. How it crushes and expands and does
Yep.
all the things because of the pressure. So when you get to where you're going, you will want to crack the top of the paint, not just the twist top, but almost like you're going to twist the whole cap off just to release the pressure. You don't have to take it all the way off. Some of them you might even hear it like a soda.
Actually, Paint Liquor,
they-
that is a lie.
Pack just fine. Shouldn't have any trouble. Someone was talking about carry on. Just be aware that it is liquid, so
Yeah.
it's going to be considered in your liquid carry on.
You can take a couple
limitations.
bottles on
Yeah.
carry-on, but you
What
really
just as
shouldn't
much
need
as
to.
you would take of other liquids, it has to fit in the quart size Ziploc or whatever.
Yep. They got rules for it. You can find it on the internet.
Bad paint done worse. And always remember, when you fly, you are that much closer to a sun that is actively changing its tactics to kill you.
True. Accurate.
Somebody was paying attention in class.
Hey, I am on good terms with the sun.
No, you're
We
not.
we go golfing every Thursday.
No, you don't.
That's
I'm looking at you, Jordan, and I feel like you could get a pretty mean sunburn.
Like, Jordan walks
I
outside and he
certainly could.
sizzles.
I
He literally
certainly could.
sizzles when he walks outside.
It's getting better this year. Not nearly as bad as it was last year. So I'm acclimating, which is great. Those South American genes are
I have
putting
got
in work.
the most insane. Like, I don't spend any time outside. Like, I am not an outside kind of gal. I don't like to be out there. This is what happens. I get weepy. But I have got the craziest tan right now, and I have no idea how I got it. I don't know if you can
The
see
sunburn?
it. I have a
Oh.
major watch tan,
Oh.
and I have sleeve.
Trucker tan!
Yeah. But how do I have it on this arm? Riding in the car with you, maybe.
Riding in the car.
Yeah.
Passenger tan.
Passenger and
Passenger
driver. I have it
tan.
on both sides. I do have it on both sides. I did get I was outside in San Diego, sitting outside on the patio, and not it wasn't hot. Didn't even realize, and I had a sunburn from my shirt. It was terrible.
California's wicked like that.
Yeah.
It's like
It sneaks
Colorado
up
does
on
the
ya.
same thing.
Because it wasn't like a hot day. Passenger princess tan, exactly.
It's like in Seattle, we had to worry about that a lot, where it wouldn't be a particularly hot day,
Yeah.
but you'd be out on the water, and the water would
Oh,
reflect
water.
For
it.
sure.
Yeah, it
Reflect
just
sun off the
ruined
water
it.
will.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Cause you some problems.
Yep. So that was a big one for us back in Washington that we had to be careful about.
It's not a dog walking tan, I don't think, because I had it before we started walking the dog again.
Speaking of the Doge, how's the good dog being?
Good.
He's
Learned
great.
very well.
Is she enjoying watching your escapades within Elden Ring?
I don't really care for it
falls
too much.
asleep.
She falls
When
asleep.
she
Well, 'cause
falls
it's got the big
asleep
comfy
and then
chair
I
in
yell
there.
at the screen because something
She
happens
goes,
that I don't approve of. And then she looks at me and gets up and leaves.
Yeah, she'll.
She's like, you're being annoying,
Yeah,
Dad.
she
There
goes
are a
into
lot-
my
yeah,
sits with
if,
Mom.
If she's out with me, then yeah, it's usually because he's in cranky game.
Like, Dad, you're being loud. I'm trying to sleep.
That's exactly it. Yeah, she's like, Mom's only watching stupid TV.
I can drown out TV. Cannot drown out yelling at Cloud.
I'm not yelling at clouds.
You're yelling at computer monitor.
I'm yelling at the fact that I stepped off an elevator and it fell through the world
Oh,
and killed me.
That's not supposed to happen.
That was how I ended my night last night. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm
Well,
done.
if it makes you feel any better, I don't blame you.
Game delay, hello. Game delay said my streak remains unbroken as I sit at a train stop. Taking a train?
Where are you going?
The Twitch is forgotten. I still remember and endure. Legal counsel has arrived.
Yeah, legal counsel has arrived.
I got to the rolled lift Valley of the Giants or whatever
Oh,
last
nice.
night, so I killed all the throne dudes.
Cool.
Then I went back and did Volcano Manor. That's where the elevator killed me.
You know what's really funny? In my first playthrough, I skipped Volcano Manor. I didn't realize that I could do
I
it.
didn't even know it existed.
Didn't even know it existed.
It's hard to get to.
Yeah.
Because we had, we found a place I saw on like Facebook or Instagram or something. Well, and we also drove by it. And they did a board and train. So we, they say that they do individual like private trainings as well. But like their main gig is boarding. And so basically you take the dog and you drop it off, and they do at least a week, leave the dog there for a week. They do intensive training, and then you pick them up a week later, and they spend a couple hours with you on the pickup day, explaining everything and teaching the humans how to, keep up the training. And you're sitting there just being super impressed at your crazy dog, who is now like very polite and well mannered, and it was awesome.
She's still retaining all that?
She's doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
Like I said,
That's
it's
like really
more-
impressive.
It's like now on like me for sure. I need a lot of practice with it, just because there's a lot of coordination involved in like the leash and the commands and doing all the things together at the same time. So, yeah, but she's doing a great job, and she's like the things that she does just naturally now. I'm always just so impressed. Like. She's when I pick up her, because I put her on her leash every time I take her out just for practice. And she it used to be if we would pick up the leash, she would just go bananas, like running around the entire house and like barking and going crazy. And she'll when I pick up the leash now, she'll still kind of like get excited, but when I tell her no, she stops and she'll look and she'll sit down and wait for me to put the leash on.
Yeah, she used to not be. You couldn't get to her.
You
She'd
couldn't
run
get to
around
her.
and tear stuff up.
You'd have to just sit and wait and let her get it out, and then be like, "All right, it's
Are
like
you
know
ready
how
now?"
to do this. We do this every time."
So she's being better now.
Oh
so
my
she's way better.
goodness.
She will sit
That's
and
incredible.
just sit
And she
down
heals.
and look up at
She's
me.
never healed
She heals.
once ever.
Yeah, and
We had to buy a harness for her because she pulls so bad,
Yeah.
and we think that her previous owner or somewhere in her previous life they just let her pull because she has throat problems. Like if she gets a lot of pressure, she starts coughing up foam.
Oh, jeez.
So like maybe she has scarring on her esophagus or something.
Yeah.
And so we bought her a harness because we didn't like her hacking. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's uncomfortable. And whenever you pulled her harness out, she'd freak out. And trying to put a harness on her while she's not wanting to stay still. Now
Impossible.
she's
She
like,
just sits.
I'm curious to know when you guys brought her in for the boarding. I'm assuming that you mentioned the fact that she was a rescue.
yes.
I'm curious how they.
We told them all that. We told
Yeah.
her that she pulls, and so they
Yeah.
gave her a custom, well, not custom, but they put a bandana to pad her neck so that the training collars that pinch and stuff would still do their job, but not
Not
cause
choke
her
her and
problem.
stuff. So they
Yeah.
were really good and very attentive
That's
to the
They're
super
needs.
cool.
super, and they just the guy who owns the place has been working with dogs since he was a kid. like his
Oh wow.
dad or something was a trainer, but they have like a really good understanding of like pack behavior and how dogs in the wild, like dogs by nature, are pack animals,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
the moms train the puppies when they're born by like nipping at them and like picking them up by the back of their neck and stuff. And we're not doing that with Cora, but
She
the
chipped
collar
big dog.
I do bite her
is-
ears.
well, yeah, Jason has bit her ear a couple times.
I learned that very early on with my Rottweiler. Is if that's the way you really want to get their attention, you bite their ear until they yelp,
Because
and
that's
that
what their
they
mom would
won't.
do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what they're.
'cause that's
That's
what
what
their
they
mom
would have
would
been
Yeah.
brought up with. They don't have to do that thing very often before they learn that I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. So she wears it's a prong collar. It's plastic though, so it's not like super pokey. 'Cause she is a pit bull mix, so she's got super sensitive skin because of her short hair. But when I put it on, I put the collar on when I get home, just so it's there as a reminder. But if she's not doing anything that needs a correction, it's like there's nothing, like she doesn't.
It's not
feel
doing
it.
anything.
It's,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
doesn't even feel it. So, it's been really, really fascinating to listen to them, describe how they do it and why they do the things they do. And
Yeah, that's super cool.
yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of why I asked, because I
They've
was
been fantastic.
I was
It's
very
been amazing.
curious to get an idea of like how they would approach handling a dog that is a rescue and has some unknown
Yeah.
previous
she's
history.
older.
They said a lot of the dogs they get through their rescues.
Yeah.
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 So they're probably just very used
Yeah.
to it.
I mean, and she's potentially, she could be close to 8 years old. We don't really know. She could be
Yeah.
close to 8 years old,
Mhm.
and she's still 1 week is like a different dog.
It's
We'll go
crazy.
out and she'll, I'll put the leash on, take her out, and we practice the commands, and we get to a certain point, and when I stop, she sits down and she looks up at me and just waits, and I'll take
Wow.
the leash off and release her, and then she goes and does her thing, and if she wants to run around, I let her run around, but then she'll come right back to me, and she'll sit and wait for me to put the leash back on, and we walk back up to the house, and
Crazy.
she waits by the door, and that's one thing that she does need to practice on still too, is waiting, but she's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they mention that like it was pretty normal for dogs to have that kind of turnaround?
This is what they
That's
yes.
their method.
That's
so
is
yes.
their
their thing.
method.
Yeah. Crazy.
These
Their
are the
whole
results
shtick.
that
That's
they
cool.
get. They have, just impeccable reviews. That,
Wow.
You know,
It's crazy that you mentioned that this is a place that you guys drove past.
Billboard.
It's
They had a
over
billboard.
on-
They had a billboard. Wow.
yeah, they have a big build. Well, they have
Rob's
their
Dogs?
building is on Rob's Dogs.
Rob's
They're
Dogs.
on Indian School and like 40th Street.
Well, if I ever get a dog.
Right next to TP, and so we drove by it, and then just a block past their building is a massive billboard.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I am. That makes me very happy. I'm happy that you guys
Yeah, no,
had
she's-
such a great
it's
experience
been
with that.
wonderful. Songer has a question. How would you do panel lining? Water, glazed wash medium, noosh, and wipe away.
Water, glazed wash medium, fine tip on your brush, kind of lay it into the cracks.
Yeah.
The noosh is not going to get you the right effect for that. You could theoretically jam noosh into the crevice and wipe it away. Honestly, you'll get a better result with just using a little bit of water and some glazed and wash medium plus your mix.
Well, let's be clear. The noosh is exactly for that, but noosh will do more than just the panel lining. Noosh will filter the whole model and leave lots of pigment in the panels themselves. So depending on what you're doing, if you're going for grimdark, noosh might give you more for the same amount of effort, but it also may do things you don't expect it to do, right? Because as you're wiping it off of the surfaces around the line or the crevice, it's going to apply color to the surfaces on top. You just got to play with them. For traditional pin washing, we recommend, like Jordan said, the glaze wash, medium, and water.
Whereas folks have a new puppy. He's very overwhelming, energetic, and hyper. I've been looking for some sort of option they could explore. Yeah, I have had experience with a variety of different dog training things, from the My very first dog I took to like the PetSmart puppy training, and that's a good
Are they in
start.
there?
Like very
Oh.
basic. They teach them how to sit and stay and things like that. And then years later, my dogs were having some behavior issues, and so I found a private trainer, like someone who would come to my house once a week. And he had been a police dog trainer, so that was also a really good experience. And then now this one. So there's all kinds of different options for training out there. Deadbeat, hello. Stream title made you check the calendar.
Yep. Don't worry, it's Thursday. That's my thing, and I'm sticking to it.
I feel like Jordan's bold sense of humor is halfway done with a last-minute ghost Halloween costume done by a single father who forgot it was Halloween. Oh, because
Yes.
of the paper towel on it. Like, what are you talking about? Now I understand. Purple hands.
Purple hands.
Oh,
Purple hands, purple shoes.
see that coming.
Jordan's nuts.
Yep. We can all say what we will about
The hand
this.
is not going to be a Mickey Mouse glove. Plot
Nope.
twist. Jordan, did your shirt the tape?
I did shirt the tape. I always
Did
shirt
you
the tape.
shirt the tape? Gotta shirt the tape.
The last time I shirted the tape, I had to go to the doctor.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Kyle and I had a very nice lunch with Paul today.
Ooh, where did you guys go?
We went to the Olive Garden.
That, in no uncertain terms, is not surprising to me.
That's very Paul.
Yeah.
We wanted soup on this 120-degree day.
In his defense,
It's not
I think he
120
told me
degrees,
that he
but-
wanted to do Korean barbecue, but there's like no Korean barbecue places around here.
That's what he always wants.
I mean, I have to be
and then
honest.
when we
101.
go to look for it, and
Still
you're
not a
right,
soup
there's
day.
none. He's
We-
like, yeah, the closest one is like 12 miles, 15 miles away. We're like, no.
Yeah, we went to one
We
this
have
last
50
weekend
million restaurants right next to us.
in like out in Chandler, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that he was like.
When we say the employees get to pick their review lunch spot, we do have restrictions. It can't be in like Tempe.
Yeah.
It's like I heard about this great place in California.
The closest Olive Garden is like 3 miles away, so it doesn't seem far, but it does feel far when you're driving to it.
The Bethany home.
Yeah.
Bethany Home is that weird sort of distance where it feels.
It
far.
feels
Yeah, just
far.
because it's past Camelback.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know why.
funny how I list like Camelback is kind of like the border.
Yeah. Like if you go past Camelback, you're going far, and if you go south of Thomas, you're going pretty far.
Yeah, you got to be serious about it.
Got a Ruth Chris nearby? No, not super close.
A Ruth Chris, is that what they were saying?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never been super impressed with their food. It's like, I mean,
Good steak,
it's
but
it's a good steak, but it's like
it's the butter that
For-
does it.
for me, it's
For
like
me.
very middle of the road. It's like
Yeah.
if I'm going to like a fancy steak restaurant, I'd actually prefer to go to a nice steak restaurant that's like non-traditional.
Yeah.
Like we went to one for Hayden's wedding afterwards, where it was like not a Brazilian steakhouse, but it was like a South American style sort of thing. So they had really good cuts of meat, and you could get a steak, and that was what they did. But it was like all hot stone,
Mhm.
like they had different like treatments for it. It was
Yeah.
it was a cool experience. That's the kind of steak places that I like to go.
Yeah.
Freaking hipster.
Ruth Chris, I haven't been
Sorry.
to.
I'm from Seattle.
in probably 20 years. Let's see. Your wife found out how to make zuppa toscana and an amazing chicken alfredo. Olive Garden suddenly has lost its appeal. I think zuppa toscana is the one that I make too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good. It's easy to make too. Can we go to Fogo for my review lunch? I mean, they probably have a lunch special, but it's pretty far, so no. No, we don't have a Ruth Chris near the office. Bacanora has an amazing tomahawk steak. I've tried cooking steak a few times. Each time I have found a new way to fail at cooking steak.
Fair enough.
It's a great Italian restaurant in Vegas. There is. We love it. It's called Batista's Hole in the Wall. And it's amazing. It's remarkable that Baby J has so little hipster in him given where he's from.
True.
He does not have the Seattle vibe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, a decent steakhouse near the office? Yeah, a bunch. We've got Durant's right down the street, which is like old school, like dark leather booths, walk in through the kitchen.
Italian mob.
It's fantastic. It's really, really good. Been there since the 50s.
Italian mob, for sure.
And apparently this Alexi's place is a good for lunch with their $26 filet for lunch.
That place I need to go to.
I know,
for
we need to,
sure.
we definitely need to. find
That's
a
not
place.
even like a place where I'd be like, oh, let's go for the special lunch. Be like, let's just go for lunch.
Yeah, no, there is no shortage of really, really good restaurants right around the office. Like,
Yeah.
lots of things.
I
That's why when he said Olive Garden, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's like Bethany Home is the closest area for any kind of chain restaurant, and even they don't really even have that many.
No.
They've got the Olive
yeah, there
Garden.
really aren't a lot of chain restaurants around here.
No,
Yeah.
they've got the Olive Garden there, and there's one other one I think.
They're tearing down an Applebee's on Camelback.
It's gone
It's gone.
already.
Oh, they already
Completely
teared
Building's
it down.
gone.
Oh,
It's
wow.
gonna be the Henry.
Oh,
Yeah, it's raised, and they've got a big fence, like way more fenced area than the Applebee's was.
oh, cool. Is that the Henry that's in the Cosmopolitan in Vegas?
Yes. There's another one not too far from here, and I don't know if maybe that one's gonna close or if they're gonna have both of them.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the soup
'cause
salad and breadsticks is why I go to Olive Garden.
Yeah, and none of us had that. It was
Oh, really?
well, I mean, we didn't get just the soup salad and breadsticks.
Oh.
Like I got the lunch. Paul and I both got lunch
Oh.
pasta, and then Kyle just had salad.
I bet he took some home.
Paul?
Mhm.
He sure did. He got extra soup. He took breadsticks and he took his pasta.
Paul always likes to save
Yeah, he's like, when we're leaving, he's like,
for
thanks,
dinner.
thanks for lunch. He's like, I got dinner too. I'm like, yep, you did. Good
Yes,
job.
you did.
Paul is so
Oh,
great.
Paul. I adore that kid. He's hilarious.
He's not a kid.
A lot of people choose sushi
He
for
feels
their
like
review lunch.
he feels like a kid brother to me.
Isn't
that's
he
like-
ol-
Yeah.
Isn't he older than you?
Me? No.
I mean, he's
Goodness, no.
You're not like, you're making it seem like you're way older
not
than him.
that
You
much
are not
older
that
than
much
he
older
is.
than
I'm like
him.
5 years older than him.
That's
That's
are
not that
you
much.
sure?
When you're my age,
I thought it was only a couple.
5 years
I
is
thought
a
it
He
was
lot.
may
only
be
like
lying to you about
2.
his age.
I thought he was like 28.
he's not 28.
I'll have to ask.
You need to go ask him.
I'm pretty sure he's 25.
Clark Tron said I would definitely choose sushi for my review lunch, but I'm my own boss, and my boss is too cheap to take me for sushi lunch. But
We have a
see,
lot of people that choose
lunchtime though
sushi.
is the best time to go for sushi because they have lunch specials.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that choose sushi. I'm a big fan.
Well, that sushi place is great.
It's great,
The
and the
one that
lunch
we go to.
specials are even better.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, I go there for lunch by myself. Jen doesn't like sushi, so if I'm craving sushi, that's where I go. I'll sit
But
at
I
a table
can,
by myself, no shame.
I can eat stuff there. They have good.
They have
teriyaki.
plenty
good
of
little
stuff.
bento boxes.
They've got
for
good
lunch.
katsu.
Yeah, they have the katsu curry
Katsu
thing.
curry is really good.
Yeah, I had that once. When we were there.
Jordan's like 19, right?
Yeah, totally. I'm definitely not 30 or anything.
You thought everyone but Shelby was older than Jordan? No, definitely not.
No.
Jacob and Shelby are basically the same age. He's just a couple months older than her.
hmm Shelby is 10 years younger than me.
Tim, Addie, BSC, they're all young. Keith, they're all younger than Jordan.
Mm-hmm. I'm like middle of the pack ish, sort of. Maybe a little above middle of the pack.
Given I was born at the end of a decade and I have been an old man since I was like 6, I don't know who's my age ever. St. Elmo's, not the one from the movie though, right? I feel like we've talked about this.
Like St. Elmo's. We used to do a thing back when when I was at Privateer. They'd go to St. Elmo's for the last meal before they went back.
They've gotten rid of everybody.
Huh?
They've gotten rid of like everybody.
Oh, Privateer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
Had a lot more people contacting us about if we know anybody looking to hire people in the industry. It's sad.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
You learn the hard way that too much of another company's airbrush thinner will cause unwanted effects on the base layer of protocol. Do you mean that you were spraying another color over the base and the base reacted to the color you were spraying? You shouldn't need that much airbrush thinner.
I don't know why that was so funny. This purple hand sticking out is funny to me too.
I did it on purpose, just because it was kind of funny.
Looks like a tortilla.
I can guarantee you it does not taste like a tortilla.
What?
The model.
He looks like he's wrapped in a tortilla.
Oh. I just wrapped it.
Although Mexican does sound quite delightful for dinner tonight. Although I think I'm planning on doing a little bit of some Filipino style food.
Paint Liquor's looking for
Or not
brownie
Filipino.
points, Jen.
I know.
Mike, I can make some really bad tortillas. Okay, so can I.
Famous artist reacted to your Facebook comment.
Oh my god.
That's always exciting. Who's the famous artist?
And what was the Facebook comment?
Yeah.
These are the important questions we must have answers to.
Time to go take off my shoes and tell someone I packed my own bag. Shamelessly have fun.
It sounds like you're at the airport. Is this you're going to the event that his name I can't remember, but you're going to meet Treebeard. Treebeard?
Yes,
Yes.
that sounds correct.
Yes. Brownies are good, so brownie points are extra good.
I usually tell the people that say, "Did you pack your own bag?" I go, "No, some weird looking guy out at the front gave it to me." Just so they go through it all.
Matt reacted to my comment on.
What on earth?
So it's doing that now.
You guys see this at all? Like, do you have any?
Yeah, the lights are pulsing in the background for yours.
Oh, you can turn the chairs on. It might show up. Christopher, it's broken. No, not anymore. That was
Something else in the office is on the radio frequency because it's
Bizarre.
almost 3 o'clock again.
oh yeah, like clockwork.
Hit Bash, what's going on?
That was crazy.
We had a very mysterious thing happen.
No,
Matt Seshwish reacted
the
to your comment.
AC.
Nice.
Definitely not the AC. The AC is
Doing just fine.
working all the time. Origins. That's the one.
That's the one.
It's Chris getting revenge for the air compressor? Probably.
No, because they have gotten in the habit of not being in their office when I go to make fun of them.
Okay, Bash, it's just that everyone's over here on Twitch.
Yeah, we stream to Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
The bulk of people watch us on Twitch because that's where we've been for 8 years.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that we're on YouTube yet.
We honestly did the YouTube. For a couple of people had asked, hey, could you do it on YouTube? But the reality is that we did it on YouTube so that the stream is immediately in the live section of YouTube, so that we don't have to go through all of the
So
upload
nice.
it from Twitch or download it from Twitch, upload it to YouTube. The bitrate compression goes berserk. The quality wasn't as good, so. But yeah, well, we picked up some new community members over there on YouTube since we started streaming there, which is great.
You guys have been great.
Revenge for not being able to be in their office.
We did what? What are you asking, Mike? If you're going to get revenge, playing with the lights would be ineffectual. I mean, it depends on the level of
I mean,
revenge.
this last one was definitely a different level of light craziness.
We're used to some weirdness.
It usually just like gets brighter and stays brighter. This was doing some crazy possessed stuff.
It was blinking.
I'm so sorry, wonderful for the other community members, but I'm pretty sure Jordan will never recover from the scale jail me coming into YouTube chat has given. I don't know. So we go quickly and spam the likes. It's free. I know it helps with the algorithm thing. Just started YouTube myself, so I know. Yeah, I mean, hey, we definitely appreciate anyone sharing our content, letting friends know that we're streaming.
100 million%.
A lot of people have been grateful for the YouTube streams because they can watch us at work. Not that we encourage people to take focus off of their jobs, but it's been nice.
Yeah, the few people who asked us about would we stream on YouTube all had the same story.
Yeah.
They were like, so my work internet blocks Twitch,
But I can watch YouTube.
but they can watch YouTube.
And Kipesh Carnage said also love the work. It's amazing and inspirational.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, they're kind of
Thank you,
okay
thank you, thank you.
painters.
We make do with what we got. Have some fun besides. Oh, let's see here. One from Royal Purple. We go plum. A little bit of plum, maybe, for this highlights. I don't want to go super crazy here.
You work 60 plus hours, that's too much. Just started back in the hobby again after 15 years away.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So I do watch in the work sometimes. What you got is years of practice and excellent paint, so there is that.
Definitely welcome back to the
Uh-oh.
hobby. Hope you find some time to enjoy it.
No one said that to me. Gift and subs.
That guy.
Still think it's Mike.
That guy.
No one said that to me.
I work from home, so technically I only watch from home. Because I remembered I can.
Mike, step away from the wallet.
Well, huzzah!
Thank you, my friend.
Mike was like, don't worry, I'm not going to send you all the stuff that I was talking about sending you. You have enough of a backlog already. I was
Well,
like, oh
huzzah!
my
I'll
God.
just throw back my legs
No
and
more
quick
boxes.
bridges with
Here.
delight.
Oh,
Well, huzzah!
Oh, ho.
Oh, ho,
I'll just throw
That's what I
back
would
my
guess.
legs and pollute my
Restraint of
britches with
text.
delight.
Pedestrians of Tet. See
Well,
Jojo.
huzzah, huzzah! I'll just throw
Sing
back my legs and
Junebug.
pollute my britches with
I'm
delight.
Salang.
Good spieler.
You're good
Well, huzzah,
spieler.
huzzah! I'll just throw back my
Unperv.
legs and pollute my britches with delight.
Horror loving is what I said. And
That's not what I heard, chat.
Thank you for the clarification, Jen.
That's not what I heard,
I
chat.
felt like I
uh,
needed, as soon as it came out, I'm like, I need to clarify.
There's some clarification required here.
Well, huzzah, huzzah! I'll just throw
So,
back my legs and pollute my britches
If you
with
guys are
delight.
here, be sure to thank Mike for those subs.
Well,
Actually,
You've
huzzah,
got
huzzah!
all
I'll
the
just
fun
throw back my
emotes.
legs and pollute my britches with delight.
I'm gonna laugh when it's somebody who's not Mike, and we're just like
Well,
totally
huzzah,
attributing these to
huzzah!
somebody
I'll just throw
who's
back my
I
not.
feel like
legs
Mike
and
went in and
pollute my
picked the most
britches with
difficult
delight.
names.
It's definitely.
Junebug is one of your
Well,
mods,
huzzah,
Panda. That's
huzzah!
awesome.
I'll just throw back my legs and pollute my britches with delight.
Jordan, you've never even mentioned Moose Thranduil.
It's on the docket.
So yeah, 6
in my
boxes of
office.
all the different Stalker minis seems aggressive. I think he does it just so the notifications keep going.
My first
That's what he did
priority.
the other day. He was just interrupting what I was saying. Only reason he did it, he even
Can't
admitted
get
it.
stuff via YouTube. Ah, so we've confirmed that it is in fact Mike. That was 50 he did that day.
What's that?
Said that was 50 he did that day.
You 50?
You gifted 50 subs one day?
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Just
not
so
Mike.
he,
My name is Caleb. It is not.
just so he could interrupt what I was saying.
This community
sounds
is
like
just as
money well
welcoming
spent.
as I remembered. If I had hands of God, hundreds of stuff stolen on me, I'd have stayed. Oh. Bummer.
What's that?
It sounds like Hit Bash Carnage had some things stolen back in the day, but he's back now.
Oh no. Like models and painting stuff, or
Caleb did it on Friday in the off hours stream. Oh, I see. No one said that to me. It said, I'm not Mike. My name is Caleb. And then Mike said, sorry, Caleb. I don't know why they think you're me. Caleb did it on Friday in the off hours stream. Oh, like when Jason continued to stream after the regular stream ended this past Friday?
Oh, that's when it happened? I was like, I don't remember this. That many. Jason, Mike's got your number. You just got to
We'll
interrupt him when he's typing.
So no one said that to me is going to now be called
Caleb.
OMG, it's Caleb.
OMG, it's Caleb.
OMG, it's Caleb.
OMG Mike, OMG Caleb.
He's just talking to himself. He's literally just talking to himself.
It's okay, Mike. Not a
No
big
one
deal.
said that to me as Mike on Twitch.
It's okay, Mike. Not a big deal.
It's okay, Mike. Not a big deal. What is Jason's number for? What are we talking about?
I said, Mike's got your number.
Oh.
He's coming after you.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know if I have a number. He went on an event, had 2 boxes of armies and projects under a table, went away for 5 minutes, came back. Oh, that's a bummer.
Ooh,
That's like one that hits you hard too, right? someone who was out for bad intentions. Oh, that sucks.
Mike said I already said earlier that I talk to myself. I don't know why this is surprising to anyone.
Mike.
Never change.
Almost like he's trying to be confusing. Weird.
Because the name is. Seriously, you'd think they'd learn. I is part of chat.
I just love that it's at some point this needs to stop.
Oh. If I'm in chat, I don't talk to myself. I talk to chat. I'm gonna thumbs up that one. I got paint on my hands.
Well, it's intentional. Well, yours might not be, Jordan. Jason's is intentional.
I also do it intentionally.
Huh?
I also do it intentionally.
No, I know on your like your thumb palette you do, but right now you're spraying, right?
Correct.
That's just-
Yeah.
I love how he acts like he's left out. You got so sad as if it was some sort of a statement of your validity that my paint was serious.
I also do it too, guys. What the heck?
I never get the
Recognize
credit.
me.
I am in chat, so I am talking to chat.
Oh. So funny.
It's totally different than your palette. Yeah, exactly. Oh, although we call it a thumb palette.
Those guys finally got back. Nerds.
Where did they go?
I don't know. They were just gone. They were both
lunch?
gone. That was a weird. Did they go to lunch?
Well, maybe you guys were in a meeting like when I got back from lunch.
They
so...
ate their lunch in the meeting.
That was our lunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're doing
Oh,
lunch
I don't know.
playtest.
There's no eyes in those, Papa Chicken. Papa Chicken said, "Will Eustace's eye sockets remain black?"
They're literally empty.
All they are. Oh, but this is like the end of a show. Will Eustace's eye sockets remain black? Will Monument learn that Mike isn't one person, but a conglomeration of entities not unlike the Borg? Is Treebeard catfishing game delay?
The hive mic.
Find out on actually Thursday's stream.
It's the hive mic.
Actually, Thursday's stream.
What show was? Soap. Remember the show Soap,
No.
Jason?
Oh.
It's way before
Yes.
your time, Jordan. They would do that at the end of every episode, I think. There would be like a narrator at the end, a voiceover, asking a bunch of questions, and like, tune in next week to find out.
Yeah, they treated it like, because that was back in the time of the show Cliffhanger,
Yeah.
you know?
24.
No. No, you said no.
Yep, Billy Crystal. Benson. That's how the show Benson came about.
From Soap?
Yeah. Benson was the
Oh, that's right.
like the butler or something.
Yep,
on
that's
Soap.
right.
What do you mean? I thought 24 was an old person show.
Oh my god. Chat, we're hiring.
Every stream.
I don't want to know if I can stream Soap. That was a great show.
Out of curiosity, when did 24 start airing?
Like 2005. I don't know. It's not that old.
Yeah. That might be right.
You're an old young man, Mike.
we
It's
we need to
Silver's on
start
Tubi, I don't
betting
know what
channel
that is.
points on whether or not Baby J will get fired in that episode.
Yeah,
What are we looking for?
exactly.
The 24?
Yeah.
24.
I was just curious.
It'd be nice if more nerds remembered Soap by day 3 of Adepticon. Damn.
Oh, dang.
Wad.
Whew!
Wad. This is the clean bunch in this chat. Monument chat is the clean bunch. So I need you to remember that, right?
2001.
Okay.
Says 24.
Okay. That's been around for a minute.
Nearly your whole life.
Not quite.
No, you were like 5 or 6.
I was 8, actually.
In 21?
November 6th.
Or in 2001? No, you
November,
was.
I was.
November 6, 2001.
You're only 31. 30?
I'm 30. I
30.
turned 31 in August.
Okay.
He was born
Yeah.
in 1993.
So 31.
Okay, so if it
20.
came out in November, I would have been 7.
You hadn't had your birthday yet.
Sorry.
Or you did have your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your birthday is August.
Yeah, then I would have been 8. Yeah. So yeah.
Young buck.
We need to start betting channel points on whether or not Baby J will get fired in that episode.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
He has been getting fired a lot lately.
He's been getting fired a lot lately.
Guaranteed.
Ugh.
Do you remember Dark Shadows with Barnabas Collins? I don't, but that was a great name.
I wonder if these chats will come up in my review next year. Jordan, it's come to our attention that we've fired you 365 times over the course of the last year. What are you still doing here?
The guy in my stapler.
Which part of Eustace
Which
is getting
deeper?
painted plaid? Has anything that would be plaid?
Do I do plaid shoes just to mess with them?
Yes, I think so.
That would actually be pretty.
Wad Tomato got your reference. What? Not
With
even
the
paying
stapler
attention.
reference?
What was
Yeah.
the reference?
That reference I did get as well.
From Office Space.
Mm-hmm.
Remember stapler. Stapler.
Stapler.
Burning all day.
Burning it down.
You had to have seen Office Space.
I've seen Office Space.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. The guy that burned the
I
building.
didn't hear what you said.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Jordan, you've been fired 3,859 times in the past year. You also brought the hive mic to us and resulted in all this stuff showing up. Piles of boxes fall over onto the desk.
Yeah, I don't. I'm still here. They keep on paying me. I don't know what's happening. I keep on coming into work and doing things, and then I keep on getting a paycheck. So, eh?
You keep doing the things, it seems to work, so.
It seems to work.
But wait, he gets paid? Sometimes, when we remember.
Don't tell them,
We
Jack.
pulled a Costanza and just kept showing up. Zambies fires her mods at least twice a stream.
That doesn't surprise me. This is gonna be one stylish sense of humor.
Yeah. Boldly styled.
What led you to the? You said purple shoes too?
I'm thinking about doing purple shoes, yeah. I didn't want to go with more red or more pink. I thought it'd be a little too much. But I wanted it to be like a fun, colorful sort of deal.
I mean, he has a bold sense of humor.
True.
Makes sense.
I got the Gen seal of approval. I like it. I think it looks cool. It looks so funny with the mustache and the eyebrows. It's so funny.
What is?
It just looks so funny. I love it. It's great.
Purple gloves, bright yellow cheetah print shoes. Sounds like a pimpin' combo to me.
No,
Yeah.
they're gonna be purple and pink leopard print
Ooh,
shoes.
even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
If we're going the mile, we're going the mile.
It looks like me as a kid when I put rubber bands around my fingers too tight.
Yeah, exactly.
He just put rubber bands around his wrists really, really tight.
It's so funny.
Mike said, after sense of humor, what are you circling back to, Jordan? I know you have a lot of work in progress, but
Something
the
that Mike sent
moratorium
him.
on the backlog
yes.
editions
Is
may
what
not
he's
last
asking.
forever.
Well, I had some sneaky plans to hopefully have this done by Friday and do something like that on Friday. I also want to finish getting the rest of what's his potato Fulgrim cleaned up so that we could start working on Fulgrim. Because that is going to take a while to finish.
Jason and
I'd
I
like
will
to
be
get a
gone
start.
on Friday.
Oh.
So Jordan is going to be in here. Most likely with Christopher.
That's it.
Chris or
Doomed.
Schlebby?
Probably Chris.
We're doomed.
So Schlebby can be man in the fort up in front. I caught that too, T. Schmidt. You said, what's this potato? Jordan.
Those are just Jordan things. Baby J things.
Well, someone will need to. I mean, technically, no. They can just hit the button and go. We've determined. But if no one's sitting here, then it's not as easy to pay attention to you guys.
Correct. It's nice to be able to have someone say, "Hey, Jordan, this person wants to talk to you about
Yep.
a thing."
Saw a meme that said Linkin Park and System of a Down are dad rock now.
Oh my gosh.
Felt the wrinkles in my face deepen in real time.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to it. Sounds about right.
It's funny to me because that's stuff that I was listening to growing up, and now it makes me feel like an old person.
One of my friends from college, a couple years ago when her son was in college, she sent us pictures of him because his fraternity was having a 2000s party,
Oh, jeez.
like from 2000 to 2010 style.
Yep.
And I was like, wait a minute, that was just a couple of years ago, right?
Nope.
Yep.
Like,
Turns out that
nope.
was a while
That's
ago.
like a long time ago.
Yeah.
For some of those people, that's their whole life ago.
Correct.
Yeah, because that's like us going to a 70s party.
Yeah.
It's like the decade we were born,
Yeah.
and we're recreating the style. They were born at the beginning of the 2000s. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, oh, my joints hurt from that statement. Just
Yeah. Definitely.
Jason did a pretty good job reading all of Caleb's gifted subs Friday night. Probably because it was glaring at him. The
Did you read
alerts.
out all 50
Yeah,
of them?
he had nothing else he could do except read them.
Yeah.
Saw some high schoolers unironically wearing the jelly bracelets that were popular when I was a kid. Feels weird to be retro. Heard
Kids
recently
these
that
days.
if the song 1985 were written today, it'd be about 2005. Oh, that one hurts. Jason did better on Friday alone than he did in the producer chair last week. All right. Oh, when I was gone. Okay. I'm like, if he did better than by himself, then I'll
Jeez.
see ya. I'm not needed anymore. But better
Mike.
alone than he did in the producer chair last week when I was home. I think it's because Jordan wasn't distracted. Oh, it's Jordan.
It's all my fault. Is it all my fault, Jason?
What? Yes.
Fair enough. Time for me to exit stage left. And then enter stage right.
Looks like we were hiring for a second, and now we're not hiring anymore.
Wasn't Jordan fired like 12 times when Jason was in the producer's chair? Maybe.
Possibly. One step closer.
Need like a collective bargaining agreement with Jordan
Why?
that renews like every 30 days.
We reserve the right to fire you at any time for any reason, for any inclination.
It was 9.
to
I
what?
kept track.
It was 9. I fired him 9 times. Is
Ugh.
that a record?
Sounds like I need a vacation.
How many times has Jordan had to fill out a new W-4? On the 9th, he was rehired when I said I came to stream because of Jordan. Rehired because, like, okay, Jordan, this is your fault. You have to deal with it.
Careful now. Don't know if I'd go that far. So you're doing stone for the sword here?
Oh, I don't know. I just put some gray on it so I could have some color.
Okay. The hive mic protects. Oh my gosh.
Hairdo. Hello.
And I gotta figure out what all the leopard print shoes stuff looks like. So I can copy it and make it look really silly.
So the thing about leopard print shoes,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to work very hard to make them look silly.
I know. I forget which one is leopard print. It's is that the more spotted one?
What they call it, but I don't think leopards actually have
Spots?
spots. You'd have to look that up.
It's not the striped one.
That's tigers.
Memphis. Hello. Hairdo said, got good news. I've signed up to teach mini painting at our local art foundation. It's all volunteer run,
Ooh,
and I've been pushing a lot of really cool classes for the kids and seniors. Very cool.
very cool.
That's actually really neat.
That is super cool.
Oh, jeez. Both Mike and Caleb are answering Memphis. It's not the striped one and not the triangular one. Deadbeat artist said most leopards have spots. I just checked.
Okay.
I thought it was
Cheetahs.
well, but they talk about the leopard changing its spots. Like a leopard can't change its spots. Isn't that the thing?
Maybe.
Some kind of expression about how like
You're stuck with
can't
what you
you
get.
can't break certain things, certain habits.
We'll start with a nice magenta base coat on the sheet.
Ruby, I want a bottle of satin black. Just got to figure out the cheapest way to get it. Obviously, it is with a set, so shipping can be divided.
Whew.
I mean, you can buy it as an individual bottle. And also check the store locator. You don't have to get it shipped to you if there's a store in your area.
Also, where are you located?
Yeah, Groovy, where are you located? Paradu's gonna find some easy to paint minis without guns or knives and stuff. Keep it non-violent in theme. It's probably a good idea. Oh, you're in the U.S. and Tennessee? Yeah, you should be able to find someone close to you,
Oh, sir, for sure.
for sure.
We have shops in Tennessee. Monument has hives in chat. What? What?
The monument is the only 10 I see.
Oh,
A good one.
Damn.
nice. I like where you're going with that. Keep it up.
The general is here.
The general.
Hello, General.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, General. We are Hive. I am concerned. Chat, are you okay?
Hive Mike. His new name.
T-Schmidt, never. If you have to ask, this took me to a dark turn.
Leave me out of this. I don't have hives.
Creation X Live, good evening. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
This is a first chat. I hope you are enjoying our particular brand of silliness.
New here. Did you sculpt these as well?
The Bold Sense of Humor, which is what this is an original sculpt from Monument Hobbies.
Yep.
Was done as a bit of a joke to be funny. Jason tells the story very well. But we had some people on Facebook trolling us, and
Just one guy.
Just one guy. Yeah, just one guy.
As
And
I do, I said, well, if you're going to troll, I'm going to troll back. And so eventually I told him, I said, hey, man, just lighten up. It's all good. You need to get yourself a bold sense of humor. So I created what was the Bold Sense of Humor product, which is what you see. Just a paint bottle on the internet that had our Procro paint bottle with Groucho Marx glasses. Needless to say, the conversation ended, and we got rid of the troll. But we left it up, as we do. We've done this before with trolls. We had what was the other one called? Not an
Personality
attitude adjuster. The
Personality adjuster.
personality adjustment device,
oh my gosh.
which was a 10-pound sledgehammer with Monument Hobbies on the side. Because we had some people that woke up and chose violence instead of seeing the humor in what we do.
Troll smashing. Love it.
So yeah, we're big fans. We troll back. We give as good as we get.
do.
We love our community.
General Ginkgo said, "What's with the purple hands? I might be behind on streams a bit." No, that just happened today. He's a bold sense of humor. So he has purple gloves, and he's gonna have purple and pink leopard skin or leopard print shoes. So they're not wizards, but purple. I think it was dark purple and plum on the glove. What did you do on the gloves?
Plum.
Royal purple,
Royal purple,
plum, magenta.
royal purple, plum, magenta.
The magenta, excuse me, is mixed into the purple
And then
or the
what's
plum. Sorry,
what's the pink you're using right now?
this is just magenta.
Just magenta. Mike says every time you tell this story, I remember that I missed out on the attitude adjuster and I get sad. If you troll, you'll get a custom made for you. Well, no, I mean, these were products that needed to be purchased. So the personality adjuster response to a troll was like $1,000. No, $5,000.
5,000 because it said that if you bought one, I would come
It didn't
to your
say that,
town
though,
to
did
hand
it?
deliver it.
Did it say that in the product?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Maybe
and
we just
then-
said it on stream.
And then this one was $499. So again, these are like, fairly big ticket items that we didn't
Yeah.
expect people to buy.
They were done
Two
as a
people
meme.
bought
We had
this.
some people say, "Hey, I'm looking at this and I'm interested, but I just need to check: is this just a meme product,
Right.
or I want to know before I spend the money." Our community is so great. Like we had people that were literally like on the fence on whether or not to buy a bold sense of humor, because they thought it was so funny, but they wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a meme. And on most of them at the time, I was like, "It is a meme." I mean, we've said that we would make something, but I don't know how to tell you what that would be.
Yeah.
And 2 people bought it. They were crazy enough
Yeah.
to just put it in their cart and buy it and just roll the
One-
dice and say, okay, well, it's going to be something great because Monument.
One person right here, General Ginkgo.
General Ginkgo's already got his.
He already has his.
I painted up the first one. We sent it out. He's got it.
And he said, looks like the purple glove at the proctologist.
Wow.
Which makes it even better.
So, yeah.
Now I am fully on board with the purple gloves.
Jen,
I hate
it's like,
knowing that your proctologist uses purple gloves. This is very scary to me.
Mathis said, I think you'd still lose money on that if you had to fly to Australia to deliver it. No, I don't
No,
know.
you got to think, man. I
Yeah.
get to come to Australia,
Yep.
hang out with you. We got to have a good solid day or two of painting. Right? A flight there's only like $2,700 round trip.
Yeah.
The sledge is like I can get one at Harbor Freight for like $15,
Yeah.
$20. It's a good deal all the way around.
You would
I
have
don't
to
know how we'll
pay-
get it on the flight.
Well, you'd have to pay extra because it would be heavy. So
And
you'd
it's
have to
a
pay the heavy bag
bludgeoning
thing.
device.
Well, but you can check that in a bag. You can check it
Excuse
in a
me,
bag.
sir. What did you say this was?
it's an attitude adjuster.
Personality
Um,
adjuster.
You can't take that on board with you. I just take it on with my shoulder, over my shoulder.
The purple gloves say, okay, sir, just lean forward and relax. It doesn't hurt, but you may feel some discomfort.
So that's not the kind of talk we need. I'm uncomfortable now.
Babe, the funniest thing just happened. I just bought a bold sense of humor. It was only $500. Wait, why aren't you laughing? There you go. Yeah, get Bunnings. Is that like the Australian version of Harbor Freight? Buy one there.
And say, I think that's actually how far we took it. We were like, I don't even have to do this. I'll just buy it when we get there and take a sticker and put it on.
No, General Ginkgo.
She didn't know until it
Oh,
arrived last
no.
Saturday.
And how you doing? You still married?
This is our brand of paints. Yes.
He said she just shook her head at him.
Yeah.
Yes, Creation X Live. ProAcryl is the brand of paints that we manufacture here in Arizona.
All the products that we use on our stream are made by us. And most are ready or are available for purchase. We do test out some things on this stream a little bit before they're ready for release. But yeah, everything that they use is something that we make.
Yep.
Are they airbrush ready? Do I need to add anything?
They are brushed beautifully. Depending on where you are and your airbrush settings, you might need to thin it a little bit. Here in the Arizona heat and dry weather, we typically will just spray for base coats and things like that with a couple of drops of paint out of the bottles. So we don't generally thin for base coats or anything like that. Obviously, you can thin all of our paints beautifully But we typically will save those sort of things for glazing and or like longer portions of time being spent painting through an airbrush.
Fairdo said, "Yep, airbrush ready. I tested it last night, and it worked flawlessly for the 800th time." Still good. I used part of my yearly bonus for it, which is my fun money. She just questioned my sanity, but laughed with and at me afterwards. Mathis wants to know if we've currently got in development anything that we can show off.
What do we have here?
did
I mean,
the-
we've shown off the
the-
Crone, the next model.
The crone, the heavy
The
Yeah,
heavy
the,
body
the
stuff.
paste acrylics, the heavy bodied
acrylics,
acrylics.
tube
We've shown
paints.
off.
We've shown off the varnish, not varnish.
Matte varnish.
You tried out one of the super secret things the other day.
I tried out a super secret thing.
Yeah.
What do you
It's to your right towards your monitor in the jar. And you painted it all over Daredevil.
Oh, the brush on primer.
Oh, the primer.
Yeah.
Yeah, brush on primer.
That stuff is
Somebody
amazing,
likes
by the
us.
way.
It is really good. Did you try some?
I have not tried any yet.
Oh. Yeah, its coverage is great.
I probably have something here I could try it on. Do I have any raw plastic anywhere?
Jules Andre, fellow Arizonans, rise up. It's too hot. I don't want to.
Too hot to
I
rise
just want
up.
to stay here. Sit in my air conditioning.
That's why the revolution won't start in Arizona
True.
unless it's in the winter.
Possibly.
And then the other day, I showed off a particular product in
Oh,
a
yeah.
can
Mm-hmm. When Jen was gone.
that's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what Papa Chicken said. The new Wizard spray can. Rise up if it's before the sun comes up. Even then, it's getting to be too hot. You hear noosh is something else.
It is certainly
Something else like boy, that is something else. That is some fantastic stuff. Or
Well, so that noosh is, yeah, that's something. Noosh is the fastest selling product we've ever released.
Papa Chicken, you know it's been available for quite some time, right?
What's that?
Said can't wait for the noosh release date. So excited.
Noosh is
Noosh
already
has
out.
been our fastest selling product of all time. So much so that keeping it in stock, as many of you know, is a real struggle for us. We've never had one of our 120 mil products to sell at that pace and volume. We're just not built for handling it as well as we wish we were.
Two wisdom teeth out. But if you had them out, was it because they were bothering you? Because I would feel like getting rid of them would make the week better. Any more signature series in development, even if you can't say who it's with yet?
We have a, how to put it? We have a signature-esque thing happening, but it's much different than what we've already released. I say that. But yeah, we haven't talked anything about it. We have so much in development right now.
It's a lot.
You know, we opened our game development side. Our first game is going to be
Yeah,
here
that'll be the next thing that
maybe
is
next
available.
week. So that's pretty crazy to think about. That'll be available on the site. So we got a lot.
Those of you who won a copy in the first game, or the first Age of Angkor giveaway, will get tracking notifications tomorrow.
Mr. T. Schmidt.
Yeah, already going out. Early release. Lucky Dogs. There's
You
another
might-
giveaway going on right now if you
Yeah.
check our social media.
It's true.
Giving away another 5 copies to the general crowd. We started with the Discord folks and the stream folks. Now it's to the general populace for getting more Age of Angkor out there. Should be a lot of fun.
T. Schmidt, you, depending on how fast they are, could potentially have it the weekend.
Yeah, you could be playing it this weekend.
Well, there's one of the people who won lives in Lake Gilbert. We'll definitely
really?
have it by the weekend. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's cool.
Monument chalk for pigment powders. Monument signature eye drops. I could use some of those right now. Monument frozen dinners called Don't Eat the Paint. No, we're not going to make anything edible because that would be confusing.
Correct. Correct.
Oh my gosh, now I'm noticing General Ginkgo's picture is the bold sense of humor.
Yes, it is.
I remember you telling me that.
It'd be so funny if we could have gotten a picture of them together, side by side,
We can
because they are very different.
Photoshop them together or something.
I went and decided to use some crazy colors.
I mean, he's got a bold sense of humor, so
Indeed. Indeed.
would I paint something edible? No, because then it wouldn't be edible anymore. I don't think so. It's a trick question? I feel like this is a trick question. You guys have burned me before on these.
Once bitten, twice shy, Jen.
Once bitten, twice shy.
You got your order confirmation yesterday because that's when I put them in, and then Paul came to me today. He's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "I'll take that one." I said, "You're gonna see 4 more," and he's like, "Really? Where are they?" And I'm like, "In the pile. Like they should all be right in order." And then he came back. He's like, "Oh, okay, I found the others." Yeah. It's your pick everywhere, but Facebook. Well, why not Facebook too? Shelby said, "I can't explain why, but his purple gloves make him look like he's guilty of something."
What? This is an upstanding member of society, okay?
Someone earlier, Shelby, said that that's their proctologist gloves. I didn't get a criminal vibe, but I can't say the vibe I did get. Is it a proctologist, Baka? You were beaten to it. Yeah, General Ginkgo. You decided the next dueling mini for the Monument Mini Showdown, Jason versus Jordan, the paint down of the century.
I do want to do it again. It was fun. But it's hard. We got to be both interested in painting the same thing.
Yeah, the stars have to align. Both of our eyes lit up when we started talking about it at Adepticon the year we
Yeah.
bought the Horus. It was like, oh yeah, this is it. I wanted to paint it, but I didn't have a reason to, like everything I paint, So I was like, I don't know. I'm
Ruby
not just
said,
gonna buy $105 model or whatever just to paint up something that I'm gonna throw in the garbage.
if I do need to thin my Procryl, what do you recommend I use? They use water, but you can use any kind of thinner that you use with other paints, right?
I use this.
Yeah. It uses gross water.
Gross water.
I have not cleaned my paint cup in, I've been trying to keep track, 3 months.
Well,
2 months?
One of the times you were gone when I was there, I emptied it. So when you were gone in March,
Your streak got killed. Sorry.
I
Oh no, I
emptied.
think I've done it since then anyway. I think it was like late May. Or no, late April. So I've been like May, June, month and a half. I've just been adding more water to it.
Has Jordan even started on his Golden Demon entry yet?
I have the head and 2 wings cleaned.
So no.
That's gonna be a long haul project, folks.
Yeah, whatever you use normally will work just fine.
The one thing you'll notice with our paints, if it's your first time really getting used to thinning them, they don't require as much thinning as other paints will. We teach a lot that there's two reasons to thin paint, and sometimes they happen at the same time for the same effect, but you thin for viscosity and for opacity. Viscosity being the amount of flow that it will have, how close to water is it, that's low viscosity, versus thick. And the other is opacity, right? Like how much do you want to be able to see through the paint? And for ours, they're already very, very opaque and flow very well. So you typically find yourself thinning for viscosity only to get the flow the way you want it, to do things like airbrushing and whatever. And so just be aware of that other paints start so thick to achieve the same amount of pigmentation that we have, whereas ours start much thinner feeling, but thin in viscosity, not thin in opacity.
Jordan, do you consider yourself a fast painter?
Yes,
Oh yeah, by far.
He's pretty quick.
I paint pretty quick. Especially if I have like a really strong foundation of the like foundational plan going into it. It all just kind of tumbles out real quick.
Do you generally have a plan when you start painting something?
No, not all the time. Sometimes I do, and usually it's like when I talk about having a plan, it's less of like specific colors that I know I'm going to use, and more of like a specific vision or image that I have in my head of what the finished product should look like, that I'm really excited about. That typically will make things happen very quickly because it all just kind of tumbles out of me into the model. Whereas when I don't have as much of a foundational idea of what I want the finished product to look like, it has a tendency to involve a lot of like testing out some things here and exploring here, and I'll eventually tumble into something that I'm really happy with, but it takes a bit longer.
And so it's kind of a running joke around here that Jordan will repaint things. He'll just prime something and start over, which is, we talked about that yesterday, that, hey, you know what? If you don't like something, just redo it, fix it. Not a big deal. So with that, do you feel like when you go in with that vision, that's when you're more likely to redo something because it's not turning out the way you like it?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you go in more of just kind of looser,
Yep.
it's like whatever, kind of like this, like what
Yeah.
you're doing now.
Yeah. Like this model, the reason that it's taken so long is I had no idea what I wanted to do
Yeah.
with it.
So you're kind of winging
Yeah.
it.
I knew that I wanted to paint the glasses these colors.
Mhm.
And outside of that, no idea.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, oh, well, I'll just dabble around and throw some paint on some things and paint the things that I know are going to be a particular color.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get to the point where you're like, okay, cool. All the things that I know are going to be a particular way are done. And then now I got to figure out what to do with the rest of it.
Yeah.
And that was like the gloves, right? I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with the gloves. So I was like, I want to make them not white. So I was like, what would be a good color? And I was like, well, I use purple transparent in the glasses for the shade. So I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to pull some of that purple into the gloves. And I think it looks really nice.
I like it.
So that was kind of, how that discovery process happens. It's just little things where you're like, okay, I know where I'm here now, and I know that these are the things that still need to be established. And then I go, okay, cool. What's a cool way for me to approach doing this? Does it work in the context of the rest of the piece that I'm painting? And if the answer is yes, then I'll give it a shot. And the more you do it, the better you get at kind of like coming up with good solutions quicker than not. But it is still it's a process.
So Mike has a question. How many coats of magenta are you doing on his shoes to base coat? I know magenta is more translucent than most pro acryl paints, but trying to judge given recent challenges.
Yeah, so magenta, the way that I'm doing it is going to take a little bit longer than it would if you were just hand painting it on like a shoulder pad or something like that. One, because this is a much larger surface, and I'm trying to get the finish on the shoes to be really solid. And that will take more layers, and I'm painting them thinner so they don't build up a bunch of volume. So this is probably like 4 or 5 different layers. But like I said, I'm going for like really, 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 really even distribution of color, no fading in between them. Because this color is the color that I'm going to finish with. So, yeah. Trying to judge given recent challenges. Papa
Nope.
Chicken, we don't eat the paint.
Nope.
Not at all. Not even remotely. Nope. Just no.
The recommended serving
mean-
size is
No. Jason,
Zero
don't
servings.
don't get them excited. You know as well as I do, because you told me, you taught me this. Don't eat the paint.
When base coating brush movement, should the tip of the brush be perpendicular when moving or parallel with the stroke of the brush?
I mean, I like all of my brush strokes to kind of go in a similar direction. If you have brush strokes going in different directions, that's going to give you more texture generally.
I think he's asking about,
But
like, are you going to put the tip of the brush
oh,
straight down, or are you going to lay it flat?
typically I paint at an angle, right?
Yeah.
So like if we go to something
Think about it like this. You want to, for most of your time painting, you want to paint with the side of the tip, if that makes sense. Now, you may paint with the side of the brush when you're base coating more because you're trying to get more material on the model. But typically, like right now, I'm not painting with the tip hitting the model. I'm painting it with the tip like this. Like if I was painting his forehead, I'm kind of painting with the edge of the tip. Right? Try not to paint. Like intentionally try not to paint with the tip perpendicular to the model. You're not using it like a pencil or a pen. That's not how a brush wants to be used. Now, are there times where you might want to do a detailed line that works that way? Sure. Typically, no.
even then, you can get all of that super detailed line with 45-degree angle on your brush to your flat surface.
Yeah.
But even then, like sometimes that adjusts. Like because you're not working on a flat surface when you're painting a miniature. It's all 3-dimensional. So that angle is going to depend on what the best angle it is for you to feel comfortable getting your lines in, or getting the base coats onto the particular part of the model that you're painting. So that area where you're holding your brush is going to change a lot.
Instead of asking about in comparison of dragging the brush toward you or moving the brush side to side. Brush at angle, painting with the edge of the brush.
Asking about in comparison of dragging
Dragging
brush
it
towards
toward
you
you
or
or
moving
going
brush
side
side
to
to
side.
So if I'm base coating, generally if you're covering a large area, number one, you'll have a bigger brush, right? And typically I'm doing this, right?
Yeah, see, I do it differently. So on these boots, what I've been doing is doing this. So I'll come in here,
Not asking about tip, asking about the movement of the brush.
yeah,
Well,
and I
did
tend
you
to
say the tip of the
I paint with more perpendicular lines, or not perpendicular, parallel lines going down like this.
Yeah, but you're pulling them towards you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the same thing I just did.
You
Oh yeah,
said
you
tip
do
of
it,
the
but you
brush,
do
Mike.
do it at a much more.
I'm looking back at your
different angle.
question, and you said, should the tip of the brush be perpendicular, moving, or parallel with the stroke of the brush?
Yeah, I think
So
he's
don't say
not
you're
asking about. I
the
think
tip,
he
'cause
wrote
you asked
tip.
about the
I think he
tip.
just meant movement of brush. I'm getting it now. But asking about movement of the brush, it really doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to see people push the brush,
Yeah.
right? Don't push the brush away from you. generally pulling it towards you is a natural motion with your wrist, right? Pushing away from you is going to splay the brush in weird ways. So this keeps a point, this spreads a point. So generally we're trying to pull towards ourselves as we paint. You might do like side to side and squib it like this.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
If you're doing that, you're going to lay the brush down more parallel
Yep.
to the surface, because that way it won't spread the brush out. If you try to do that like this, you're going to ruin the tip, right? So if you're going to go like this, if you're wet blending or doing other techniques like this where you just want feathered coverage, then lay the brush almost to where you're just painting with the side of it. But in most cases, you're painting with the edge of the tip and you're pulling it back towards you. There's changes, and nothing's a hard, fast rule. It really comes down to what are you comfortable with. But those are the ones that you would start with.
Like, here's an example of where I would use a side-to-side motion to create a blend instead of just...
But these are all great questions, because brush control is one of the single largest factors towards your painting looking
Yeah, these are
good
excellent
versus
questions.
not. And a lot of people don't spend near enough time with brush control.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing a lot of people just pick up over time without thinking of, just because they're putting a ton of time into painting. But if you actually spend time learning about it, you can shortcut a lot of spent time of trial and error figuring it out the hard way. The direction that you're pulling the brush is going to depend on your personal preference when it comes to what is towards you. Me, I tend to pull more straight back than Jason does. Jason paints more at an angle, but he pulls his brush at a different angle because of how he holds the brush in relation to the model. I hold my brush in a different angle than he does. So everybody's going to be a little different. You got to find the best way that brush and that brush stroke motion works for you, in how you paint. This is part of the reason why it's so important to build these fundamentals, is so that you can kind of get comfortable using the brush. Right? Because when the brush no longer becomes a thing that you're trying to figure out how to move, then you can focus on figuring out how you want to paint stuff. Mathis, my biggest mistake was buying a bunch of tiny sable brushes thinking they'd be better for minis. So I have
Turns
a
out,
bunch
no.
of Series 7 sub-size zero brushes. The paints dry out so fast because there's no belly. Yeah, 100%. That's why I use a size 3 for basically everything. Whether I'm painting eyes or I'm painting blends, most of the time, I'm using a size 3. And if I'm not using a size 3, I'm using like a size 6. Yeah, two is even small for me. I like the bigger body on the size 3s. Zazan has a question here. How long did it take before you guys were happy with your painting results? The problem is that
I was always happy with my painting results.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that. That's not true. There were times where I was like, that doesn't look anything like what I wanted it to look like when I was much younger. I've been painting for over 45 years. So for me, this dates back to like when I was 8. So I was a frustrated kid who didn't have any patience for painting. When I actually started having patience for painting, I liked everything that I did. I felt like everything was a move forward. I tried to make sure that I took a very active approach to keeping a positive attitude. Now, that was much easier for me because I was doing all this in a time before social media. So I didn't have to look on social media to find out what that great painter was painting that, was like, oh my God, I'm crap, that blah, blah, blah. You just got to get out of your head on that stuff. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as the world's best painter. It's not a sport. Your proficiency is geared directly to how much time you choose to spend painting.
Yes.
And so, the cliche almost statement of, the more you paint, the better you get. I mean, but that's true. With everything, that's true.
Yeah.
So,
the thing is, there's no ceiling.
But yeah, it didn't take long at all for me to, but like I said, a lot of that came with the experience and the maturity that I found along the way to actually take the time, right, to paint. Because if you want a good outcome, you have to spend a healthy amount of time on it. Now, what that means to everybody, like Jordan paints a lot faster than I do. So for him, you know, the right amount of time on a model to get good quality is quicker than I am.
Mm.
But it still, even though it's relative to the painter, it's still the truth, right? You still have to invest the time. If Jordan tries to paint too fast, he's not happy with his outcome.
Yep.
So it's that level of maturity, I'll say, and experience that lets you say, okay, yeah, you know, but, you know, you can also choose that I don't care about this one. I'm going to paint it faster than I normally would.
Yep.
That's also valid.
Well, the other thing too is that, you know, you as a painter, you will find things that you have a hard time painting, or things that you are not as good as painting, like things that you find come to you naturally in painting, and things that you're like, man, this is a thing that I just struggle to like process. And, you know, those are the moments where you, if you want to, you can take the time to really like dig into those things that you feel like you're failing at a little bit, and you will get better the more you spend time learning and practicing them. But generally speaking, when it comes to critiquing your own work, you're always going to be your own worst enemy when it comes to critiquing your work. Very, very rarely have I ever found anybody who is not super critical of their own work. So the answer is you're always kind of in a place where you're either happy with where you're at, or you want to keep getting better. And if you want to keep getting better, being critical of your work is good, because it means that you're looking at things that you can improve on. But also being realistic and saying that, you know, I am happy with the things that I have done well here, and realizing that your work doesn't have to be perfect is really important. It took me a long time to get over my perfectionism with painting. Especially as somebody who was a studio painter. Like that was the hard one for me.
You've been painting for 8 years now, Papa Chicken. Only now am I feeling confident enough with technical skills to start focusing on developing a style of painting. Yeah. I don't pay I mean, you know, depending on what your goal is long term, trying to pay attention to what your style is may be self-limiting.
Yeah.
Just paint.
Yep.
Honestly, and
100%.
that's not meant to be a duh kind of statement. It's just paint, because your style will be something that other people recognize long before you do. 100%. No matter what the art form is, you will not find your style. Other people will. Mm-hmm. To the point to where people, when you try to say you're directing yourself towards a thing that is your style, other people go, why did you change the way you paint? Mm-hmm. You'll find that people grew accustomed and liked one thing you did, and you're trying to alter it to another, and that can be frustrating. It doesn't mean don't do that, but I've always found that the easiest way to avoid all of that is to just, you know, not worry about my style. People ask me, what style of painting would you call yourself? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm all over the place.
I have the same.
I'm all over the place. I'll do stuff that's super sketchy, like what we're doing here. It just depends on the composition, right? I think being flexible and being able to do whatever you want is key. I painted some burbs. Every time I hear you guys say generally speaking, I keep thinking I didn't say that. Yes, you did. We're just repeating you, man.
This guy's turned out good. I like the purple you put on the Ravens. A nice little touch.
Everything froze for a second. She was opening the internet.
Hmm?
I was over here moving my model, and it stopped moving, and both of us froze. I don't know if they saw it, but like our computer, she was opening up the
did it
Google
glitch out
window,
for a second?
and everything froze. It was weird. I was dancing the model around.
Oh my gosh!
Didn't do it.
Only 3 people?
Wow.
Poor Wednesdays.
It's Wednesday. Wednesdays and Thursdays have been horrible, right?
Yeah, they're rough. I mean, this is always the slow time of year for us anyways.
Summertime. People are out doing summertime things.
Yeah, exactly.
Got the kids home.
Mm-hmm.
T. Schmidt doesn't show up on time.
Jeez. Ugh.
You keep looking at the Legion Moff Gideon box art. Whoever did that is so crazy good. Glad I'm not doing him anytime soon. Super high bar. Who cares? Just paint it.
Well, we can't raid on YouTube. We got to raid on Twitch.
General, that's awesome.
Show up eventually.
I got to give you grief, Taylor. But anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Great questions. Awesome painting with you guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. It is the middle of the week.
Oh, I got it.
We'll be back again tomorrow for Thursday. Remember, if you're new around here, hit that follow button. And we'd love to see you back. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Jen's putting all the links up in chat.
Punisher, just showing up. You know what time this howl happens.
Monument Parents and little bro Jordan. Wait a minute. But yeah, stick around also. If you're over on YouTube, you might want to jump over to Twitch. We'll do a raid. I think DD Builds is the only person up.
DD builds.
DD's great, local guy.
Local.
Does some fun stuff.
He's painting today.
So
He's
go
an
hang out with
amazing
DD Builds,
painter.
have some fun. Tell him we sent you,
He
show
does
some
some
love in
really
the
cool,
stream,
fun
give him a
stuff.
follow. And we will see you back again tomorrow. So have a wonderful time. Make sure to join us in the Discord. Check out all the streams, the store.
All
Support
the
your
things.
local FLGS, all the good stuff. Be a great hobbyist. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.
Bye.